do you think you don't ask for help or speak enough about your feelings because you're worried about the judgment from your family and friends? Or do you think it's because you worry about the judgment of the opposite sex? It's the drum roll! Which means we start. It's a good
Okay,
start.
let me get this right in the first take. I'm in French. What number is this? Is it 3?
3. Oh.
Because we searched 4 or 3, didn't
You searched 4 for some reason. But this is 3.
So this is episode 3?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That was...
We need a soundboard. Oh, we need a...
We still have invested in a soundboard.
We need a soundboard.
Or an app for it. But
Episode 3,
we had
OJ podcast.
OJ
No Shade.
TV, No Shade podcast.
Same
You
thing.
know what it is. All of that fun stuff. Now, we need to be honest. The topic of conversation was going to be what?
Social media.
Social media. Is social media a good thing?
Which we will do at a later date, I think.
That could be the next one if you don't think of another topic. But we just had, as we like to do, a conversation beforehand that's just changed the whole concept of today's talk.
Because I feel like it's very important.
It's very important and it's going to be helpful. It's going to be helpful for me to listen back over.
Yeah.
We were very honest.
I hope it's helpful for everyone else as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Quite a few people.
I'm trying to let people know we can be serious at times too, you know.
We are
When the time comes.
We
Well,
have our moments.
okay. Title for this one was what are the expectations of men?
Yeah.
Now, this can be interesting. I've already got ways that we can elaborate onto this too. However,
Pretty deep stuff. Deep in your feelings. Make sure you listen.
we first of all spoke about our own perspectives. I don't know how much you want to give away. There's only so much I want to give away based on the conversation we had previously.
Yeah, there's only so much
But-
I'm giving away.
I'm going to put myself into a bit of a box. Right now, I'm a 28-year-old male turning 29 this year. I am living in my own house, but based on the expectations of, well, when you think of a 28-year-old male, you think family, you think wifey, you think career-wise in a certain perspective or financial gaining.
Which I think is unfair, but we can talk about that in a bit.
That's fine because this is what I
Yeah.
want, that type of like idealistic
Yeah.
view. But that to me, and I'm sure to anyone else, like if I was to paint a picture and I don't know, I was gonna advertise, if I was gonna do a CV of myself, that's what it is. And I believe the accomplishments that people may have or may see of me isn't enough. But I think that's just wired into, as we discussed, even we don't see our accomplishments because we just see how far we are from our own idea of where we should be or what we should be.
I think it's more of a competitive thing because, like we were saying off camera, me and you personally, and there's quite a few people out there, I'm sure, that are in the same boat. Everyone has a very competitive nature. Now, whether that means you're competing with yourself, whether it means you're competing with your family, whether it means you compete with your friends,
Or work colleague.
or work colleagues, or whoever it may be, it might be subconsciously, it might be consciously, but I feel like everyone is in a boat where they expect more. This could be from social media. This could be just from what they're seeing with their friends. In our friendship group, and I'm sure our friends won't mind sharing certain details of what we'll share or what I will say personally. In our friendship group, we have a very dynamic group. We have actors, we have DJ artists, we have entertainment artists, should we say? We have
artists.
We have fathers. We have to be fathers. We have a lot. We have a lot of things going on in our friendship group. Athletes, businessmen, entrepreneurs,
self-employed,
all sorts.
yeah.
And in that group, it's a very not a competitive driven space, but it's very like, okay, you're doing this, that's great, good for you, right? What am I bringing to this group? Almost.
Yeah.
It's a very sense of like, our group is very prideful, I think, and as a male, as a black male as well, and we ain't just got black friends obviously, but I'll just speak for the ones I know, and different as a cultured group.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
As a cultured
Really
group,
proud of us. We are a very cultured group.
we're a very cultured group. We have expectations of ourselves, and we have expectations of the people in the group to always bring something to that group. Now, that doesn't mean financial aid. That doesn't mean financial gain. We're just saying whatever you want to do in life. You want to be a stripper, for example, and there's nothing wrong with strippers. But if you want to be a stripper, be the best stripper you can be. Like,
Yeah.
if that's
Don't half-ass it.
if you're gonna be it, do it. And I think that's what we come from in our group. Is like, if you want to be the best at something, if you want to do this, be the best of it that you can be.
Yeah.
So when you see our group going off and doing X, Y, and Z, or you see people doing X, Y, and Z, like one of our friends, great actor, doing big things. But for me, when I see him doing something, I'm like, right, okay. And I see his dedication, and I see his work ethic, and I see the time he's putting in. I don't hear from him for 4 or 5 months or whatever. When I see that going on, I'm like, okay, cool. He's doing that.
What am I doing?
What am I doing? And it makes me think about myself and
How
everything.
inspired were you and motivated once we saw him in his play?
Oh, massively. I think the next day, I was
so proud of him.
I was on my issue.
the next day, I looked myself in the mirror like, yo,
You ain't doing nothing.
you ain't doing anything.
Because he's doing something he wants to do in his prideful space, whatever that may be. He has turned around and he's gone, yo, listen, bam, this is what I'm doing. He definitely like checks on our man, make sure everyone's okay. He's that kind of person. I call him vice captain. He's the vice captain, like, because he's undercover. Like, he's not the captain because he's not out there.
I know keeping the vice captain is the most important.
He's the vice captain. He sits there and he's
doing it for the glory.
Not doing it for the glory. It's just like, yo, you man, all right, cool, safe, bounce. Like, you need help.
Do that still.
And
Shout out Aaron Fiora. I don't know what I'm not saying his name.
maybe he wanted to keep things a bit private.
If not, then I'll bleep it out. We'll check with him. We'll check with him before.
Shout out. But he
I want to give you the credit that you're due, man, because I don't think, like, it's very similar to our friendship group and the people we're surrounding ourselves. We don't give ourselves the credit we deserve because we're so focused on the next best thing, and that's understandable. But sometimes we just gotta let people know, it's like, you're doing bits.
But that's what I was kind of trying to like get to. When you see someone doing what they want to do, and when you see him doing what he wants to do, and everyone else, you kind of look at yourself and you go, how can I be better? How can I be the better version of me? Can I take certain tips off certain people? But that again comes with pride. Don't you think I'm ever going to speak to like you man and go, yo, can you help me with this? I do, but it takes a while. Like, it takes ages.
I've failed hard before I've asked the man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've hit the rock at the bottom and the rock's bottom.
I think
I've hit all of those levels before. I'm like, mandem.
Because do you know what it is? I don't know about you, but for me, I guess it is a prideful thing. But I just don't like asking for help from anyone.
I agree.
From my family. I'm just like, if I'm going to do it, and if I've got myself into a situation, whatever that situation may be, let's just use, if I've got a flat tire, right? I will try and I don't know how to, let's say I don't know how to change tire. I do, but let's say I don't, right? Let's say I don't. I will use all the Arsenal tools at my disposal before I go, right, I can't do this. I need to ask someone. And then, even when I go to ask someone, it's like, right, who am I going to ask that isn't gonna bait it out? Isn't either gonna bait it out or hurt my pride the most? Who am I gonna ask where they're just gonna come and look at me and just...
I'll ask a stranger that don't know me.
I'll
be judged by that stranger knowing I don't
know them before.
So, you don't know me.
But it might be a general pride. It might be I don't want to say a man thing because I know women go through it as well. But I feel like they go...
Ego?
It's an ego thing. I think everyone does it, and it's just something there where nothing allows me to do. I'm like... Ugh.
You mentioned family based and you don't like to ask your family too. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deeper and talk about how I think I've broken the chain in my family because my family aren't like the whole lovey-dovey, let's share our whole feelings and all that stuff. My family's not that. Not that we're far from it either, like the opposite scale. But in terms of expectations and whatever, like you said something previously, like you could be chilling around your family and you're putting off a persona that you're fine.
Oh yeah.
But deep down, you're stressing.
Oh yeah.
I can't bring, it's going to sound terrible. I can't bring an experience where I've been around my family and I've not been stressing about something that they know nothing about. Because if they look over to Amari's view, Amari's the happy-go-lucky son or uncle playing with the kids, making sure everyone's having a vibe. And if anyone's upset, I'll put 120% to make sure that they're cool and I'm sending positive vibes. But I'm sending positive vibes and making sure everyone's fine from an empty vibe basket. Like there's nothing. I've got nothing in it for me.
Nothing left.
I've got nothing left, fam.
Yeah.
Like I'm empty.
You
But
do that.
I
You do that with
make
your friends as
sure
well.
everyone's fine.
You do that in the group as well. Like, so we have a running joke in our group, like constantly. And
We have
even,
loads. What is this an insulting one or like?
No, it's not an
okay.
insulting one.
Cool.
But
I've
we-
been insulted quite a lot in the group. But we do that.
for those that like your anime fans will talk about you. Like, we call him Mario Uncle Iroh. Like, and if you've ever watched Avatar, right, this will need no explanation. But if you haven't, it's a character on there who just spits pure wisdom. Like, even though
There's these moments of foolishness too.
but even
Don't
though
get
he's
twisted.
even though he's in a state of worry, stress, and whatever, it's just you don't know it, and that's what we call him Mario, because he does the same thing in his family life as he's just said, but he also does it
I do that.
in his friendship life as well. So it's an ongoing whatever.
I low key thought that was it because like I drop a few
ongoing
like
thing.
bars of like just woke shit and I like to inspire. I thought it was just because like some of my bars are like some like I don't like seeing my boys upset. I really don't. Like family too, don't get it twisted, but if you came to me and I'm going through something that needs to be done, it's like 1 in the morning. But it needs to be I don't know. But if something needs to be done at 6 a.m. and if not, my world, I'm losing my house. But if you come to me like, yo, I need a new suit for an interview, and if I don't get this suit ready, it's something that's not even a necessary importance. I will drop shit to make sure that you're okay.
That you
and
got-
I do that for my family too. I put so many people's worries and situations first to make sure they're okay, and I just naturally put myself further, but I'll do that later. And then I worry to the stage where it ruins.
Why do you think you do that? Like, it depends how much you want to give away on this or whatever.
Oh man, sure. I do that because it's easier to help others than help yourself.
Ooh.
See, that's another. But I believe that because when you're working on yourself, it's just you and you.
Do you know what I think it is? I'm just gonna come off from your point there. It's when you're just focusing on yourself, there are no excuses.
Yeah.
And it's zero. And you see your flaws in all daylight.
100%
And
accountability.
it doesn't matter. Like you can't lie to yourself. You can mask over stuff, but you can't lie to yourself. And I think when you're helping others, it helps you help yourself.
You become that person that you need.
Yeah.
Like if you tell me I can't do it, or anyone tells me they can't do it, I ensure to them that they can. That voice that they hear of doubt, I shut it up. I kill it. It's dead. But that voice of doubt, to me, I'll say to me, because I'm sure people might be going through it, but let me speak for myself. To me, is the strongest and loudest voice.
Yeah. It's something where you kind of it's very hard to drag yourself to a deep place. So I've been lowest of low. I have been the lowest of low, and people haven't seen me at. I can't think of a time that anyone's ever seen me at the lowest of low. I think the closest I've been to someone. I think you're the closest to seeing it, but I was at uni.
I think
I
that's
got
the
a
lowest I've ever seen you.
And I got a chance to get out of that. My family, I'll never let my family see me at my lowest of lows. Like never.
That's the thing. Like even that, like you've seen me at a few lows as well, and I know my family's always seen the happy guy, the confident guy, or the guy that I've allowed them to see.
Don't get me wrong, they haven't seen the happy. They see the happy me, but they don't see it's not just what they see. Let's put it that way. Like
Okay,
I could be moody
yeah.
as fudge.
Do you remember my surprise house party?
Oh yeah, good times.
That was in his house, and that was for my 21st.
Good times.
My family was like, I've never seen you so happy, because even then my artificial happiness is still nothing compared to my real happiness, and I've not even let them see that, and that was an eye opener. I was like, crap. Yes, there was alcohol involved, but before that, I was just naturally so happy that I didn't put on the mask of Amari around the family. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure we can all agree, not the same person, vice versa, because some people are very open and I respect the crap out of those people too. But we have a mask that we put on around the family, and that mask gets removed as soon as you step out and you're around your friends, or maybe the mask that you have when you're outside of life. Like,
I think
you step
it's
outside
the,
the house and now you're you.
It's the thought of disappointment. But I think,
Oh,
for me anyway, it's a thought of disappointment. Like the last thing I want to do is walk into my house and then be disappointed, and then like just disappointment. Just I'm like, oh, you're disappointed. And they're like, oh, you're disappointed. Like I don't want to walk. I don't want to be anywhere and just have like, you know, like a disappointment feeling. I don't want to be around them and them to be disappointed. When you come out of your situation, when you come away from family, if you're alone or whatever, you live alone, if you don't live alone, whatever it may be, when you come out from family, you come away from that, you're around your friends, you allow yourself to be disappointed, but you do it in such a different way. So, for example, if we were just chilling here and the boys are here, like my disappointment I might show disappointment in terms of just hypothetically, let's say I'm talking to a girl and the girl airs me. Let's just say that, right? That's a form of disappointment there, and I'll openly show that to you. Like, man, I tried to chat to this girl, she aired me. You're like, oh, that's a shame. That's disappointment. You're going through the motion of disappointment. You're like, oh man, like whatever. But I wouldn't take that same situation around my family. I want to go to my dad and my brother. Like I was talking to this girl and it aired me, like because the level of disappointment is different.
It's different. It's not like with people that take it. To them, it means so much more because you're in control and you always want to be in control. Anything that you see of me needs to be positive. It needs to be happy. It needs to be friendly. It needs to be progressive. It's the same. You mentioned a girl, for example. I've never brought a girl back to my family because to me, I want to bring the person that I'm 100% committed to. Because if I bring someone, this is just my opinion, if I bring someone to my family
like wasting time,
and it's someone else, and then it's someone else the next month or someone else the next year, to me, I believe that that's failure because they're saying, okay, that means you failed with that person because you brought another person, you failed with that person. It's growth, it's progression, and it's showing that you're open and sharing. I don't have that. I want to bring wifey back to my family. So until then, my family don't see any girl I'm chatting to.
Do you know what I think it is? Me personally, I just find it disrespectful. Like,
I can support you. I can see why. I can see why.
It sounds bad, but to me, right, I don't want. It's disrespectful on both sides. Like, I don't want to disrespect the girl that I'm bringing back, and I don't want to disrespect my family that I'm showing to. Like, if I've only brought one back, just the one, and I wouldn't like bring anyone out. I wouldn't have brought anyone else or whatever, because to me it's like if I don't see a future with you away from family, if I don't see a future with you, if I have to constantly sit there and think and is something happening or blah blah blah, then I don't want you around my family. I don't want you in. My family might know about you. So that's different. My family, I might be like, oh, my mum might say, have you seen anyone? I'm like, you know what, yeah, I will talk to someone, or something along the lines. Like they might know about you, but they won't see you until I know it's until like you're not going anywhere. Like you're, where are you going? You ain't going nowhere. And you know what? Sometimes I might be wrong or whatever, and things happen for whatever reason. That's fine. But in that moment, if I feel like you know what, you're not we're done. That's it. I'm out the game. I shot that last 3 whistles blown. Retirement. I'm done. Like
shot the buzzer. It's over.
If I feel like that situation, then I'll bring you back because I just feel like I don't want to waste people's times for one. 2, I don't want to disrespect you and I don't want to disrespect the girl and make them feel we're more than we actually are. Or we're at a stage we've taken that next step into our relationship and we actually are. 2, I just don't want my mom to look at me like.
Because parents say you can bring anyone back, and as long as you care for them, we don't care. Bullshit.
It might be nice. That might be sort of way for certain
people
everyone
and
else,
types of people
it might be
don't work for me.
I was about to say, for me,
Don't
that
work
ain't-
for him.
That ain't the way.
Don't work with a few people I know. We've got a few things in common that
That ain't
I'm sure
working.
people can like differentiate and find the different types of
But
groups.
again, it might be different.
It might be different.
It might be
Maybe
different
there's
for
families
everyone.
out there that's a little bit more.
But
open. Why is-
and you know what? I reckon my mum especially, or maybe more my dad, would be more like, okay, cool, yeah, you bring you, because that means I'm showing an insight into the upbringing that they brought me.
my dad would be gassed.
They're
Sure.
like, what kind of girls you bring around?
Yeah, I was like, I'm learning more about my son that I don't even know. Found out his age last year. I don't know because he's always so secret.
He likes tall girls.
I didn't know that.
Hey, if we have children, we're gonna have basketball players. It's just something that might happen. But for me, I will never want to bring that disappointment around my family and make it. But again, that goes into the expectations of what I think of myself. Like it has to be perfect. Not perfect, but it has to be going somewhere. I need to see. There needs to be a progression because I don't settle for half-assed stuff. Like
So no one shouldn't.
if people, the people that know me that watch this, and the people that are getting to know me or whatever, I'm sure you can see that me personally, I don't like half-assed anything. Like if you give me, if you give me as a friend, if you'll give me a half-assed
A meh.
friendship or half-assed energy, you can piss off.
Yeah, it's not our investment for later.
No,
because
no.
I'll give you the same energy I'll give back. It's no.
And I'll give you. But the thing is, I'll give you that same energy. You give me half-assed, I'll give you half-assed. But just know, if I'm giving you a half-assed energy, I ain't got time for you.
That's not friendship.
That's not a friendship.
Toleration.
It's toleration. It's the same with everything. Like I don't do things half-heartedly. I will put my all into something, and if it's not working, okay. But at least I'm putting my all into it. But I don't accept less, and that puts me in a very, very stressful situation because nothing is perfect. So I'm sure you won't mind sharing this as well. We said we wanted to do this podcast. Let's say about 3-4 years ago.
That's being kind.
That's been no, but let's say about 3-4 years. So we spoke
Yeah.
about this at uni. We was like, you know what? Like people might not listen to this. People might not watch this. But this is what we want to do, just to put our feelings and thoughts out there. Because when we do speak to people, they say the same thing. Like, you know what? A lot of people come to us with that about their problems. You'll be good having this chat.
Problems we're nowhere near qualified for.
Oh,
but
nowhere
they're just
near.
like the fact that the relationship that we have, we want to support them all the time.
Yeah. Now,
And we just want to help.
Now, the amount of things that we brought just to do this,
Okay, yeah.
I will run through a few things, and
Look around the
a lot
room.
of you might just laugh. Combined, us two, we have 6 ring lights.
Yeah.
We have about 7 microphones.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 2 4K cameras,
Yeah.
which have microphones on top.
Yes.
We both have iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there?
We're talking about phone stands on its own.
Yeah, we got like
we made. I've bought. Wish I was addicted to TV.
we got about 3 stands.
We got about 3 phone stands.
We both have AirPods
We've got
type of
car
situation.
holder stands, perfect for vlogging, as well.
And we were so fixated on it being perfect that we wasted so much time, effort. But we made a website because we wanted it to be perfect. We done so much thinking it had to be from the top, like episode 1 charting #1 in the UK, our podcast. Like that's the level
yeah,
of
we
wanted
just
to be.
thought it has to be great. If not, it's terrible.
It-
As everyone wants to, but we
took
took
it
to
to
the
the
next
next-
level. Every conversation, we're like, yeah, we need this. How much is it? All right, cool. Let's bid for it. Let's buy this. Let's save up for this. We can't do it without this. We're buying equipment that we
did not
didn't
need.
need,
It
and
took
we're not
us-
using any of it.
It took us ages. Right now, you are seeing a £30 microphone. Headphones I've had personally for probably about
Yes, these were a
years.
gift that I had like 3 years ago.
One of our phones recording. One of our phones recording the audio so we can put it on like Spotify and whatever.
Yeah.
And one of the ring lights that we're using because in here it can be pretty dim sometimes. Obviously.
Bear in mind, we've moved around the table, different rooms in my house, different locations, even outside, different parks, to say, yep, this is going to be our main talk location. We was even went to facilities like bars and venues as well.
Yeah, we were doing loads, and all it needed was a camera and the two of us and our thoughts.
That
We are
shows-
now recording this at 1:15 on a Monday morning because it was Father's Day. It's now it's now the morning of the Monday.
We told ourselves off and said we asked for so much that we'll never get it done. There's not going to be a right time. There's not going to be right equipment, amount of kit, right topic. So we told ourselves off and said, do the opposite. Just get it done.
Get it done. We're starting from ground zero.
Because what bothers me right now is the fact that we've not got the same chairs, we've not got the same microphones. Why haven't we got our own microphone sets? Why haven't we got our own headphones? They need to be the exact same brand as well, the exact same colour. Even to a stage where I was ready to buy certain types of cups branded and all that stuff too.
And he's not joking as well.
No.
We had to.
I was about to get a bigger table because I've got a pop table that everyone's got like a pop table or something like that in the house. I was like, nah, I'm ready to go to IKEA and get a proper table.
And the point I'm getting at is this, and we spilled off on a flipping tangent.
Yeah.
It's because what I want to get at is the expectations that we hold for ourselves, and look at all the stress that we're doing for something that one is free. Let's just put it out there, because all we're doing is promoting our Instagram.
Indeed.
And all we're doing is having our own time that we probably would just have this chat anyway, off camera, just sitting
We had
down,
this talk already. And I can't remember what we said. We said a lot more deeper stuff.
eating food. And the point is, if you don't try and manage your expectations, if you don't break yourself down to really, really, really humble yourself, it's going to get tough.
You hinder yourself as well.
You are not allowing yourself to be the true version of you. And you know what? I can even flip this and talk about it in a relationship standpoint, because it's coming across for some unknown reason that we're actually getting quite a few women followers and listeners, and I didn't realize. I just thought it would be our friends, to be fair, but it's people that long-term friend, not long-term friend, but friends from.
Okay.
And you can do it from a relationship standpoint. And I want to say this because someone messaged me. I won't say names. Someone messaged me recently, as in today, and is having a few problems.
Okay.
With them being single, and they want to know why they're attracting certain type of men. And what I said to them is, you need to break your expectations down of a man, and you also need to judge your own expectations of yourself. You need to know exactly who you are, what you want, and why you want it, before you can turn around and say, this is what I want from the opposite sex and what I want. If you don't allow yourself to be vulnerable, if you don't allow yourself to be that type of person, you're not allowing yourself to gain what you feel like you should gain. So if it's a job, for example, you're saying, I want that job, but that job requires time and effort. If you don't break yourself down and go, right, okay, this job requires 90% of my effort, 90% of my time, which means I can't go out, I can't spend, spend money, can't see my friends as much as I want to do. If you're not willing to do all that, you're not going to get that job.
I can see how you mention it, because if you want a certain type of person, this goes into, I think it's called the high class male and female. So if I won't say numbers because that's pretty basic. So I was going to say 8, 9, and 10. If I want a businesswoman who is ambitious, driven, focused on progressing and self-improvement, and I believe that's the woman that I want to be with.
That I deserve.
I'm a slob. I'm sitting down, not looking after my health and well-being, not caring about my job. It's a dead-end job. I know I should have left time ago, but it's comfort. It's in my comfort zone. I can do it. It's not really challenging, and I'm not progressing as a person. Then that's not the person that you like. If you want this person, then you've got to match that energy.
You attract what you give out. And what I feel like what stresses a lot of males out, because I can't speak for women, I feel like what stresses a lot of males out is we want what we aren't willing to give up.
Work for?
Well, not even work for, give up. So if we use an example of relationships, we want a loyal woman. We want someone that's just for us, gonna focus on us, is down to earth for us, right? but we're not willing to give up the lifestyle that we have.
Okay.
We're not willing to give up the
ones that aren't.
We're not willing to give up the whole. You know what? I'm not gonna have 2 o'clock messages from Sandra, or I'm not gonna speak to this person. That it's not gonna always be every time I have a conversation. It's gonna be a woman in my DMs, or I'm gonna speak to this kind of person. We're not willing to give that up, but we demand this.
But we're ready to say
we
demand this, and
this.
woe is me because I can't get this.
Yeah, we want this.
That's a compromise. That if you want this, then you can't have the cake and eat it.
It's true. But I feel like a lot of males, and we get stressed about it, and when it's a case of getting this, we always turn around and we say, oh yeah, but I'm doing this, but I'm doing that, but I'm doing this. That's great, Jimmy. Like, that's fantastic. But what are you offering? What are you bringing that's completely different from every other male that's bringing this woman attention?
If you expect this of them, what do they expect of you?
Exactly.
If you can list out, okay, this is the kind of person. If you can pick out the perfect person, what do you think that perfect person wants out of you?
Yeah. Like what are you bringing to them? Well, how are you changing their life? A friendship group. I always say your friends are an extension of your family. So if you've got a very good family basis, which all our friendship groups have, me included, we have a very, very strong family orientated space. If you ask any one of us, you can say, yeah, this person did, our moms, our dads, our sisters, our brothers, they're all interlinked. You can go to any one of them. If out of that circle, your friends don't match the same energy or the same love that your family give you, or the same expectations, why are they your friends?
You don't feel right. Naturally, you can tell when you meet someone and you're like, I don't know what it is, but that's not my kind of person, because they're on different levels, they're on different energies, they're on different axes. They're around different types of people, and they're now shaped differently to how you are. It could be positive, it could be negative, but either way, it's different.
Do you think, and it's spinning off topic all over again,
We'll be size of expectations, and we'll bring it back. I'll always bring it back. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna try to bring it back anyway.
Right.
Do you think depression in men is spoken of in this day and age?
Could be based on what we spoke about. Men don't want to ask for help
At all.
Men are not saying no, but the men I'm around, that's the experience I can say, is we suffer in silence. I can say that from first-hand experience.
Now,
I would rather suffer than ask for help.
do you think that is because of not your family, sorry. Well, yeah. Do you think that's because of a family friend scenario? So do you think you don't speak more if you're talking about yourself? Do you think you don't ask for help or speak enough about your feelings because you're worried about the judgment from your family and friends? Or do you think it's because you worry about the judgment of the opposite sex? So do you think you don't speak up enough and speak about your feelings because you're worried that the women will look at you and go, he's a weak man. So I don't want to entertain myself with him because he's a weak man. He's not what I want. I want someone that's a manly man that don't want to talk about my feelings, sort of thing. Do you think it's that, or do you think it's like a more family, or do you think it's a combination?
I think it's a combination of both, because it depends on how it's transcribed of importance. But if we're around my family and I don't know, if say someone shouted at me in a family reunion and I started crying, I instantly know you're the brother that cried at the barbecue.
Yeah.
And that around family, first of all, you never live it down. And secondly, you'll be known as the weak one.
Yeah.
You're the weak emotional guy. Unfortunately, that's how it is, because that's how I would do it. It's conditioned in me. Real talk, I'll remember people based on what? We remember people more based on
emotions,
their emotions or their limitations,
their actions to their emotions. That's what I remember a lot of people on, and it's sad to say that luckily for us, again, our friendship group, we can talk about our feelings without judgment. Really, there's been times where we've had some really good chats, and we broke down a bit. We've been a lot vulnerable, but we've allowed ourselves to be in that vulnerable space. However, I wouldn't allow myself to be in that emotional space with my family, and that sounds bad, but the only reason I wouldn't allow myself to be in that emotional space with my family is because I don't want them to worry. I don't want them to wake up and be like, oh, is Jordan okay today? Like, I might come off cold and distant. I might come off cold and distant, but at least what they're thinking is, man, Jordan's just woke up in a mood.
Like, he's grumpy, always quiet today.
Grumpy, man, he's tired, whatever.
That's the norm.
That's the norm.
I've created the artificial norm.
So it's just Jordan. What's wrong with Jordan? It's just
It's just the same old same.
It's just doing
now he's broken down, or he's going through some stuff that he's struggling with.
Yeah,
I get that, because unfortunately, my friends know me more than my family.
I can.
I've been through more stuff in life that shaped me around my friends than my family.
I think a lot of people have though, but I think your family prepares you. If we're talking about life, I think family life prepares you for what could be.
For what could be, as best as they can.
As best as they can, in the confines of the family household.
The friends are the ones that were there for you while what could be, or that could have happened, has happened. Because so the friends have been there when it's happened.
Yeah. So I feel like that's why that's why I remember Mum always saying, make sure you pick your friends wisely. Because I think it's very. I think my mum was basically saying, look, we're preparing you in this house. My mum and dad are still together. Obviously, they have a good. I have a brother, I have a sister, and it's a good family dynamic. Like it's not what people would say a stereotypical black family. It's like my dad's always there, constantly.
Okay, good. Yeah.
My mum's always there together. It's a happy household. It's a happy household. Do you know when everyone just poke at people? Everyone pokes at people. All in all, it's a happy household. And my mum always used to say, make sure you pick your friends wisely. Now, my mum knows all my friends, and all my friends know my mum. All my friends know my dad. All my friends have been around my dad enough. Around my dad more than my mum, because my dad was obviously the football coach, and they know not to.
Indeed.
They know not to mess with my dad.
Yes.
Yeah. And my mum would say, make sure, because I feel like what she was saying is, in this house, we're shaping you. We're preparing you for what it could be. When you're out there and you're in the trenches of life, your friends are going to be the ones that are around you. We're not going to be around you. We've just given you the tools and the lessons. Your friends are going to be there to go, right, okay, let's get you out of this situation.
Like we're training you for war, but they're going to be the ones
they're
fighting with you.
Yeah. We're the coach, and we've given you the plays, and we've done the drills, and we're training
your team.
we're training every day, but your friends are on that pitch with you, and you got to go 90 minutes without conceding and go score that goal. And that's why I think it was so important. That's something I'll always install, to make sure you pick your friends wisely. Luckily for me, I picked my friends very wisely, and I say to you a lot, I don't have a lot of friends because I don't throw the word friends around. I don't do it. I have a lot of acquaintances, and that doesn't mean if people are watching this and they're saying, "Oh, am I a friend? Am I an acquaintance?" I'm not saying I wouldn't treat you any different about how I am with my friends. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, push comes to shove, I'm in a hole. I've got my phone.
I know who I'm calling.
You ain't getting that call, and that's not because of you as a person. That's not because of I think you're trash. That's not because of anything. I just know that the people I call, when they pick up, but the people I call are going to be there within 10 minutes. I could be in Spain and they'd be on the next flight. They would find a plane somewhere to fly.
No questions asked.
They'd find a plane. No questions asked. It's like, yo, I'm in Spain. Don't ask any questions. I need you here. Let's go.
But that's back to expectations. That's what the importance of it as well. It's not just expectations of yourself or your families of you, but it's the expectations of your day ones. It's expectations of if I'm in a problem, if I'm in an issue, I know if I come to my friends and I say, yo, I've hit rock, I've hit bottom, I've hit rock bottom. You know, like if I'm in an issue or if I've done something wrong, the man then would laugh at me. I'm like, ha, you fucked up. But if I'm like, bros, I need help. I don't know what to do.
There's
with my
no
life
laughter.
now. It's like, where are you? What's going on? What do I need to bring? Like what? Like that's the issue. That's the severity of
And
it.
it's let's get it done, and it's not talked about after.
Yeah, like when the time comes when you're ready to bring it up is when it gets spoken about.
That's up to you.
We have conversations now I've got different conversations with different people in as one-to-ones and in groups where until it gets brought up, it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's not spoke about. And as soon as it's spoken about, okay, cool. We're
Then
there.
I was like, you ready to talk about it? Cool, because I've got about 7 pages about questions of how you ended up there, what happened.
But until then, it ain't being spoken about.
Yeah,
But I feel like that's what, again, we need to kind of understand as just general basic humans, that it's okay to be vulnerable. It really is okay. You're allowed.
No one's always on that confidence rise of perfection.
The ones
there are
that
stages where you fall, and the ones I'm just gonna say, I'm sure we word it. The ones that are always happy, the ones that are always positive, checking on them.
they're the worst ones.
Checking on
I'm not
them.
saying the worst ones, but they're the ones that are masking a lot of the
They may have
problems.
seen a lot of stuff and are so scarred from it. They want to make sure they don't see it in anyone else.
And what I will say, while we're talking about vulnerability, and I'm going to talk to the ladies here, and I might get a lot of crap for it,
I'll back it, depending what it is.
but if your man or the guy talks to you, is talking to you about anything vulnerable, do not
Respect it.
respect it, and do not bring up the past. One of the worst things for a male, is to have a past. Let's say you was a bit of a football in the past.
Be reminded.
Let's say you're a bit of a football in the past, and you've changed your ways, and you've gone through that stage. You've done it, and you've changed your ways, and you're like, right, okay, cool, okay, and you start speaking to another woman, and they turn around to you and they remind you of all the crap that you used to do.
No matter how long it's
No
been.
matter how long it's
I'll
been.
bring it up. Like, yeah, back to 7 years ago when you were chatting to Ray.
I understand.
TT.
I completely understand that what you do will shape your future. So you can't hide from it. But if you acknowledge it and accept it, yeah, you know what? I was an absolute fool. I was an absolute tool bag. I've changed now, and this is why I've changed. And I'm telling you this because I want you to understand my path, and I want you to understand my growth. So what they're basically saying to you is, look, I know I messed up. I paid for it because this is what happened. This is how I learned from it. I've moved forward.
And I want to move forward with you.
If that then there is your time to ask questions. If you want to ask any questions, then while that conversation is fresh, by all means, you have a right. You have a right to understand the past of the partner you're trying to get with.
Okay.
Because I think it's important to understand the past of your partners, so your future can be bright. However, once you've had that conversation, you then need to move on. Whatever situation, whatever happens from then is a clean slate. So if something does happen and something does arise in the future, don't then use the past as an scapegoat. See, I told you this is why I weren't going to give you a chance, because you was like this back then and you're like this now. Because all that's going to do, all the man hears is blah 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 blah. I knew you was going to do this anyway. You're a prick. That's all he hears, and
No matter what I can do, I'm always going to be.
No matter what happens, you're always going to think of me as a prick. So guess what? Now I'm going to be a prick because
I realise I can't find sanctuary in you. I can't find comfort because I'm always going to be labelled as this person I can never change.
So guess what? Now that's all I'm going to do.
I think that's the conversation that, not straight away like, hi, my name's Amari, I killed 7 people.
No, I think
But, like, the severity of the conversation needs to be opened.
I just no.
I didn't know what example to use.
I just heard it. I was like,
That's
what?
But not when you're just meeting someone, but when you're ready to go into that new stage. That's when, before we made this commitment to each other, not like on your wedding vows, but like before you're ready to become exclusive or whatever the word is, because I'm inexperienced, but whatever that phrase is that transition to you're the only person for me that I ever want to be. That's when I believe that conversation, before we make this step, we need to sit down and just get everything off our chest. All the things that bug me, I will say about everything, all the things that bug me about you. It's a safe space. All the things that I do that bugs you. Anything in the past that you wish you could change, that you're comfortable with, or just open up anything and everything. So where, as soon as that conversation's done,
It's left.
it's a clean slate where you both start as equals.
So I agree with you. I think it should be way earlier on. And the reason I say that is because I feel that in that dynamic there, once you're talking to someone, you kind of know where you want it to go. Do you know what I mean? Like I always say, after the first few days, if you just chatting to someone, because you probably at the very very start, it's going to be quite consistent because you're getting to know someone. It's a bit new, like they've caught your eye or whatever. You know where you want it to go. You know where it wants to be shaped. Right. I feel like in that moment, it's the male. I feel like it's the male's almost obligation to say, right, I used to be like this.
It's both parties' obligation.
And I also think it's a woman's obligation to do exactly the same, because it's nothing worse than you would listen to the woman and say, you know what? Yeah, I used to, but I'm changed now. I don't want a one night. I don't want a little fling. I want a real thing. Okay, cool. Once they say that, that's your opportunity as a male to go, okay, you're saying this, but what made you change? Like, why do you want this? And 9 times out of 10, they'll probably come back and say, oh, well, I was in this relationship, I got cheated on. Just example, I got cheated on, I went on my hot girl summer shit, I'm over it, I'm bored, racked up my numbers, I'm done, right?
All that honesty.
Cool. All out honesty. And 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you all out honesty, and there's no really backlash from it. Like, there's no real backlash. I feel like men are more trusting than women. So women will then come to you and say, what do you want? Well, as soon as they say, what do you want? You need to be dead ass honest. You need to be dead ass vulnerable and say.
Well, I don't think people are honest in the early stages.
But and I think they should be. I think everyone should be. I think it should be a very, very, I think I said it in episode 2.
Let me get going.
While we're here, if you haven't watched episode 2 yet, go back and watch it. I did this in the last one as well. Yeah. If you haven't watched episode 2, go back and watch it.
Try and put a link in episode 2.
Yeah. But drop it down. I want to see it here. It was a great conversation. Also, while we're on that topic, I am 20. I am 20 people away from 1K. Me personally. Now, I said it in the last 2, and I'll continue to say it until I'm on that number. Once I get to 1K, Instagram will allow you to start getting paid. So all those out there that's on 1K followers and beyond, go get your money.
I don't even know how to use it, you know. I don't use Instagram.
Once I get to 1K, and once OJTV,
is that the swipe up thing?
I don't know about that. once OJTV, also OJ.TV_, that's our Instagram.
Yeah.
Once we get to 1K follower, we will do a video on how you get money.
Just like if it's possible.
If it's possible, we'll do a video on how you get money, so everyone out there
that isn't
knows.
the main goal for OJ.
It's not the main goal at all.
Let me just clarify that real quick.
He's right. But what I am saying is we can all get this money out there. Everyone.
If we can help, let's help.
This corrupt government money we can get. Let me just put that in there. That's my only little bit I'm gonna put in there. Back to the serious conversation I was having.
Okay. I want to round it back to expectations. I know we every conversation we have, we lead into relationships. It's funny how we always do that.
I don't know why.
But apparently we subconsciously think we're pros at it. Now,
We don't.
you mentioned something about how it changes in terms of for ourselves. I want to talk about expectations of men in terms of where we should be or how the world sees us at certain ages.
Yeah.
But you also brought into aspect of how your mum would see it different to your dad in terms of if you brought someone back.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Because in your perspective, let me just give you a little overview. Jordan has two siblings, a brother and a sister, and he's the oldest.
Ugh.
But yet he's one of the youngest in the group.
Yeah.
Now, I am one of the oldest in the group. I have two siblings that are both older than me, a brother and a sister too. So it's a very weird dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. We just.
It only made me deep it the other day, and I was like, it's weird because that reflection shows in our friendship.
Yeah,
too.
you can see it as well.
You're very, in terms of mature, in terms of one, you've got that older brother vibe to you, but yet still the younger in the group.
Yeah.
And I've got the opposite. I've got the oldest in the group, but yet younger brother vibe too.
Yeah. It's weird. I think it's in terms of what you say. I think my mum wants me to. My mum wants me to be in a situation. I think I'm gonna fully say he went toilet during our podcast. I don't care.
I went to, okay.
I don't care.
I've been drinking a lot today,
Yeah,
and
man.
like I've been like trying to get on the water flow, get my skin smooth like chocolate, and obviously I'm getting some of the.
I don't
toxic
care. I'm
stuff,
putting it out there.
What? You make this sound like it's a bad thing?
No,
I
it's
have to
not.
go to the bathroom.
It's not a bad thing, but it ruined my flow. It ruined my flow. Yeah.
Hopefully the edit's smooth, but I apologize if someone's got something to say, and if you've got something to say, if you can care about it, I don't apologize at all.
Okay. Right.
So you go.
So yeah, you was talking about how my mum and dad were seasonally. So I feel like my mum wants me to be in a situation where I'm bringing someone good into the family.
Is that based on good to the family because obviously it's an addition to the
just
family, or
based
because
on-
of your age, because you're the oldest
A
one?
bit of both. Well, actually, I don't. Yeah, a bit of both. I feel like I think because my mum and dad were already in a situation where they had me. In a situation that had me, so I feel like as the eldest, I feel like they're almost looking at me like, hey, like they know, like they know. They're not. I don't think they're saying it, but they're like,
yeah.
the expectation now. I feel like it's coming to a stage of where it's like, okay, all right, it's getting to that time. Like, if anything was to happen now, like it's not a surprise. It's not like panic stations. It's like okay, move on. I feel like my dad's just like any typical male, like with a son. I don't know, but I feel like anyone out there with a son just wants to see their son winning. And I feel like
Yeah, I get that.
I feel like if I was introducing girls to my dad, I generally feel like my dad would be like, you know my dad? My dad would be like,
Yeah, your dad will just give you the nod of acceptance.
But
And
that was
that's-
like-
as much as I don't want to care about how my dad thinks of me, nothing wrong with my dad's relationship with mine, but I just think it's the same. As much as sons don't want to care too much about other people, we want that.
I want my dad.
We want that.
I want my dad to be like, not even in a creepy way, you know. Not like, you know what I mean? Because people might take these weird like, my dad's just saying that, but
Who's this Sunday?
who's this Sonny? That's not what I was saying. But I feel like my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like I just want my dad to be like, yeah, man, yeah, like you got a little queen. All right, cool. Yes.
Like that? You doing well?
Whereas
That
my,
little-
I just know my dad, my mum and dad, both of them would just be just happy, just in general, like they wouldn't care anyway, like anyway. But I just feel like my mum, like out of the two, my mum will be a lot more like, no, there's no would be about it. I know, my mum is a lot more. So, do you want to know everything under the sun? Name, age, job description.
Who's the most perfect person you believe? A perfect female you've seen in the world. Perfect.
I mean, see one because all you women do is lie. See one. I don't think there is.
Just think about the most perfect female. Like,
Looks wise.
everything wise.
Oh, man.
I could bring her home and my mum still would be accepting.
The- I-
As much as I know, my mum would be like, it's fine. That's it. And that's the thing. I pray my mum likes her.
Do you know what it is?
I pray my mum likes her because she's going to need help.
I just want
Because what I worry about the most
Your
is
sister?
my sister.
100%. I worry about your sister. His sister punched me one time. One time.
My sister's not going around punching people.
No.
But it was like more of a.
It was like a friendly.
Hey,
Like,
Jordan.
do you know when you just like, hey, buddy, like you just like a little. But and that's what scares me the most. It wasn't a whole. It wasn't a recoil.
You just, buddy punch.
It's that strength, man. Your family got good
Inside of a
strength.
few of my
Your family got some good strength genes, man.
But yeah, my sister, my older sister, of course, won't give away her age, but she's a few years older than me, and she goes on like, well, she used to go on like, I wouldn't care, but now in the recent years, she's openly honest and said, whoever it is, I don't like her. Period.
Boy.
Bear in mind, there's no one, but she'll say, whoever it is, I don't like her. You can bring Rihanna, don't like her. I've got her on my music, I'll delete it. Kind of thing. She's not said that, but I'm pretty sure she would.
I'm pretty sure.
I can't bring anyone back that would.
And I think that's why that shapes our expectations as well. Because
wifey get ready for that.
And that's why I feel like we're so picky. Because and when I say picky, I'm just like just in general, like because we know the expectations that our family and our parents have
so high,
and because they're high of us, it's like, man, I can't. If you're a friend, I can't bring you around my house.
I can't bring my own friends around. I'll be like, I know you're cool, but you don't know what to not do. Just don't do it.
I can't bring you around my family, and you do your foolishness.
You say one of your jokes.
Yeah. It's not gonna swing that way. You can't do that. And if we're talking about like relationship wise, I'll bring you around if you're gonna do some absolute. Because that whole no punches, you know, they will tell you about themselves. My mum has cussed my friends.
Yes.
Openly.
Yes.
And it ain't a joke.
I've been told off by your mum.
My mum's cussed my friends. Yeah,
it wasn't my fault.
My mum has cussed my friends. So if she's gonna do that to people I've known for going on 26 years. What do you think?
It is what it is. Raw.
Well, you're turning 29, so yeah.
Thanks. But yeah.
You said it earlier. So.
Oh no. Don't remind me.
So she would do it to anyone. So and that's why I feel like my expectations of myself is high because my family's expectations of me is high.
It clouds my judgment, and it's something that subconsciously yet consciously, like the known unknown, sticks with me because this could sound like some hopeless romantic foolishness, but
Probably.
Whenever I chat to a girl, I instantly think, not of how the next day is gonna go. It's like, can I see her being my wifey? And then instantly it's like, okay, it's a chat category or it's a link up category or this is a possible wifey category.
I need to know more
Because I instantly go, okay, that's a joke. It was funny, but my sister wouldn't laugh at it. My mom wouldn't laugh at it. My dad probably won't like your face. I don't know. But I literally go into that standpoint. I know it's messed up. Probably answers a lot of questions. But I have that. If that person is more serious, I start to create those scenarios that haven't even happened yet.
I don't like wasting my time. And I don't like wasting their time.
I see it as a good thing. It's like, I don't want to waste your time. But I really think you're gonna no.
But that's why I bring it back, and I said that's why I feel like people have to be honest from the jump, because that wipes that stops so much. That stops everything. It stops everything. It stops so much.
It's very hard to. It's hard to say yeah. So from the get go, bro.
I know, but I just feel like
because you can go into the fact where that the Venus flytrap from episode 1 and the ditto effects.
If you haven't watched episode 1, go back and watch it. Now we're gonna do another link for episode 1.
But yeah, it can go against it because a lot of people, the ditto or the Venus flytrap could know. It's like, okay, this person wants to know what's going on, and then they could make that facade. But once you've gone past that early stage of a relationship, I'm sure when that next stage transfers over, that's when maybe two walls of like, this is. So if you pass to the second wall of like exclusivity, that's when the clean state will comes into it. It's like, okay,
maybe
tell me about how many bodies you got,
and I want to know. And I want to have that
like this is a rule of like the clean slate, but it's got to be clean if we're just going to be open as honest as possible.
Yeah, if you're not going to do it.
I need to bring it back to expectations because I really want to talk about not just about relationships, but the expectations of, we can only speak from our perspective, black males. We don't have to go too deep because this is me saying it out loud for myself. It's a whole different conversation.
I feel we need to have a different. I feel this needs to be a whole.
I want to bring. Let's bring this out to open. I don't want just us to have this conversation.
No, I don't.
So I'm going to take away black males. I want to hear the expectations of males, but I want to hear it from different voices, mindsets, and experiences.
Because I feel like this needs to be a whole new podcast.
We won't do that chat until at least 2 other people get through to us. Because I'd love to hear it from them.
And I tell you what I actually want personally is, because we'll represent black males, full black males. Right? I want someone of a white background. I want someone from an Asian background, and I want someone of a mixed background. Because I feel like all of us have different.
100%. The world sees us all differently.
Different expectations.
We have different barriers. We have different expectations.
And it's got to come from, if you're coming on here and you say you want to do it, there's got to be absolutely no judgment for one.
It's no shame.
But you've got to be open and honest about it, because I promise you that chat's gonna get pretty deep.
It's gonna be interesting.
Pretty quick.
That'll be yeah.
It will get raw.
We're not gonna get at each other, but we're going to share our own perspectives on yourself, vice versa too, as well as what we believe we see you as in terms of an expectation, and that goes into pros and cons for all. But again, it's not going to be anyone. It's anyone that we believe, even if it's a stranger. It's a level of respect and understanding in the No Shade podcast.
Also, and while we're doing podcasts we want to do, because we're probably going to wrap it up now.
Probably,
yeah.
There's so much more we could say, but we'll wrap this one up.
We'll save it for when we come with them up. I actually want a chat. I actually want to chat with 2 white women, and I want.
What's the topic? Just give me a title. What title do you want to talk about?
I don't know what the title's going to be in a sense, but I want to talk about their views of a black male.
Okay.
Because the views of a black, I feel the views of the black male is completely different in the eyes of a white woman. I was gonna say white person. I was gonna say
that
white
could
man.
be the same for any races.
Yeah. But I feel like there's a lot of,
We'll
white.
start there.
There's a lot of, and I just want to. I never understand it. I don't understand. I understand the fascination because we're kings out here. That's why all us black males are kings out here. So I understand the fascination. I get it and I approve of it. But what?
To say fascination.
I guess it. I approve of it. But I just what I want to know is why it's so heavily. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
we don't know the word because we don't want to sound too egotistic.
yeah.
But
I don't want to sound like I'm being that, like, but I just want to have that conversation where I can go.
So white.
So what's the?
Because we know, first of all, it's not the same for all.
No. Not everyone. Not everyone. Everyone has different
it's just
flavors.
a conversation to have. It's not just going to be about that. As you can tell, we like to snowball into different.
It would just be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting to hear it from that.
And for those who have reached out to us, we will arrange times and dates. We're just obviously finding times where we all work different jobs, so we're finding dates and times that
maybe
best suit us all.
What episode?
If not, it might be a location kind of thing.
It's just episode 3, wasn't it? So maybe. Maybe episode.
Don't give it a name. Don't give it a number. Just.
No. What I was gonna say is maybe in the next 2 episodes, maybe 4 or 5.
Nah.
No. Wait, you're not listening. You can't just say no.
You say okay. I'll listen to everything you got to say.
You can't just say nah. I don't fucking know. I'm just saying, like episode 4 or 5, we bring someone on, and we have a conversation with someone. We've done 3 episodes where it's just us 2. So maybe four or five, we bring someone on and
Today's
have a
episode is just
conversation
a
with
proof
them.
that it just comes out of nowhere because this conversation wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, maybe we have an episode where we bring someone on. We go, all right, cool. We'll have a conversation with you
I'm down for that.
about something.
Let's not waffle too much because people are signing out. People are getting bored.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm just
they're here to the end. The podcast is a podcast. They're here to the
We'll
end.
respect everyone that stays to the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Not you don't care. He doesn't.
Statistics have shown that. Statistics have actually shown that man, they were listening to the end. Hey, girl. So thank you very much for getting through, which will probably be the shorter one of the three that we've done.
Is it?
The first one was an hour and a half.
Yeah, the first one was split into 3 sections. There was no parts. It's just great editing. We just continue.
So I feel like this is actually why we won the slow. So we're slowly coming down. Exactly. So thanks, appreciate it.
Cool. Call to actions, CTAs. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
CTA. Go on, say it. You said it. Say it loud enough for the people in the back. It's about time.
I don't like saying it.
I've been on you for it, so I'm not gonna say it.
It's been going through the statistics and everything else. I'm trying to remember the name. Instagram, oj.tv_.
Love it.
Jordan's Instagram at Jordan Ambris came to the road to 1K. My Instagram at Amari_Mars. Mars spelled with a Z. And we have obviously OJTV on the YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share some opinionistic comments too, because as you probably tell, I'm always about sharing pros and cons, bring out the negatives.
No one understands how long it took him to say this.
Yeah,
you know how long it took for me to
I'm already
get to
feeling
this
awkward
stage.
because I don't like saying it. I don't like saying
it
it.
took to get to the stage.
I'd rather just say do the stuff.
No. You know, I can share.
You're a grown ass person to be on YouTube. If not, get off YouTube. You've got bad parents. You shouldn't be on it if you're too young to be on it.
And while you're there,
And if you're
while you're going off it, subscribe and then go off
if
it.
you're old enough to know go on YouTube, you're old enough to know what to do if you're interested and want to see more. Yeah, that's to me. But no, you gotta make sure you do the call to actions because you gotta tell people what they already know because that's marketing today.
I feel like we should have a marketing chat as well at some point
with someone
that knows marketing.
marketing. We know nothing. Over to you, Jared. Yeah, cool. We out.
Yeah, I'm done.
What's our outro? You had an outro.
Oh man,
What was
I didn't
it?
think of it.
Oh, you had it, and you
It
said
was-
it,
it
you
was-
say it all the time.
It was one of them where it was like we should come up with like a little, not a cheesy.
You said something.
Yeah, we should come up with like not a cheesy line.
Tell 5 people, tell us, and like
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
There you go.
Tell a friend.
Like,
to
comment,
tell a friend.
subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. OJTV YouTube.
Tell a friend
Bang.
to tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell a friend. If they've got a hot friend, tell me.
Don't tell me.